I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah. The OJ's Money is the song. And, well, we're going to talk a little bit about money today, but how it relates to food. So, Anna Vocino, your mic is off. I haven't introduced you yet. It's the Monday show. You know what that means. She comes in every Monday, whether we need her to or not. I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Anna Vocino. Yeah. So, Anna.
She comes in every Monday, whether we need her to or not, indicates that I don't need to be here, and instead I'm forcing my way in, when we all know the opposite is true. Vinnie Tortorich metaphorically hogtied me in 2012 and said, do a podcast with me, and now I can't quit him.
No, she can't.
I can't.
And I
won't, and I can't.
I have 3 words for you, Anna. You ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this. We're saving money today.
We're saving money. And, you know, I see this on the internet all the time. We talked about it. We said we would do this show a couple of weeks ago, but here we are doing it now.
But I can't afford to do NSNG.
Oh, what do you think? I'm a Rockefeller? What do you think I'm made out of money?
Tree.
And now listen, folks, I could get on my high horse over here because no one except maybe the woman on the other mic is more miserly than me when it comes to not spending money. Because we both grew up. Look, I'm going to be honest. My parents were, school teachers. School teachers are not lighting the world on fire when it comes to cash.
My mom was a minister. Ministers aren't lighting the world on fire when it comes to cash.
Right. And your mom only had one child. Yeah, single mom.
That's right.
But one child. My mom and dad had 4 kids. And then they decided to do the dumbest thing you can ever do. They said, you know what? We're in Southern Louisiana. The public school system is not so great. We know that because we work in it. They saw high school kids reading at a 4th grade level. There was nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do to change it. Right? They saw the truth. Folks, this is not political. I'm just telling you, I had parents who did their best to educate the crap out of people, but you can only do what you can do. And they were like, well, we cannot do this to our kids. So they literally saved every dime. We lived like people way below middle class. Like I guess back in the 70s, school teachers were considered, especially if you had 2 of them in a family, you had a middle class income. We did not have an extra dime to go around, not one dime. If I said the words, can I have, before I even asked for what I wanted, the answer was no.
Yeah.
That was just the answer. No, we don't have it. We can't do it. There was no extra.
My requests were usually followed by, can I have? And she would say, no, that's trash, or no, that's made of junk. Like, because usually it was like a Star Wars toy or like parachute pants. No, that's trash. And she would make my clothes.
We didn't get that. We just got no.
Oh, we got no, that's junk. I'm not spending money on junk. And she wasn't wrong.
We did the whole hand-me-down thing. Yeah. Right. Luckily, I was the bigger kid in stature. So sometimes I got the clothes first, which was good.
Yeah.
But, a lot of hand-me-down, including cars. When I was done with my first car, which I bought for $700, paid for it myself, made the money, paid for it.
Amazing.
When I was done, I gave it to my younger brother, who then went to high school, and he drove it all through high school, and then gave it to my youngest brother, Mark, the one that comes on the show sometimes.
That's great.
And he drove it. We still have the car in a barn in Donaldsonville. The car is still there. And I originally bought it for exactly $700. It was old when I bought it. That's the kind of life we had. But my parents, my family, not just my parents, my family, we had some of my family, my great uncles and everything had some land. And we had an old farm-out tractor. And I know this sounds like the Beverly Hillbillies, but we used to plant everything we ate. I thought everyone had vegetables from their own garden growing up. I didn't know any better. Like, we never bought vegetables from a grocery store. As a matter of fact, we sold vegetables to the grocery store, to the National Food Store, and to the Winn-Dixie. They would buy it from locals.
You and I had a very different upbringing.
So, we you name it. We had turnips, we had mustard greens, we had tomatoes, we had, you name it. Cucumbers, cauliflower, broccoli, all of it, potatoes. All of it was grown in, and you go, Jesus, Vinnie, how big was this garden? It was 5 acres, which means
that's a big garden.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, Italian commune, right? On the weekends, if my Uncle Frank goes, I need hands in the garden, you didn't go, well, let me go play with my thing first and I'll get to you later. He wasn't asking, he was saying, get to my house tomorrow. Right. You're in the garden. And you would be in the garden all day. It wasn't an ask, it was this is what you're doing, because we all lived on the garden, right? Well, Vinnie, what about meat? Meat generally came from the grocery store. I say generally because during hunting season, I was big on hunting. Not everyone in my family hunted. I wasn't required to hunt. I used to like to hunt. So therefore, there were rabbits, sometimes different birds that I would bring home, quail, dove, what have you. I wasn't big on duck hunting, nor did we have the money to duck hunt. That's a money sport. Every now and again, I get myself on a deer
I didn't even
hunt.
know that. I know so little about hunting. I didn't know that duck hunting would be a money sport.
You need equipment, and you need to get out over water, and you need a duck blind and stuff. You don't just need a shotgun and some shells and some warm clothes. You need more than that. But rabbit hunting, dove hunting, quail, you could just go jump quail by yourself. You don't even need a dog. Right.
You could do it on my street.
Yeah. And then deer. And the way the hunting clubs, if you got invited to a hunting club, you didn't have to actually kill a deer. But for every deer that came in, whoever was on that hunt got a portion, got some deer. Right. So they would mark your name down. So, but that wasn't the main way we got meat. The main way we got meat was we bought that. Now all people do is complain about, Mr. Hoity-toity over there telling people to eat meat. I can't afford that. Well, first off, you can't afford not to. Second off, I just saw this guy. I don't know who the guy is Andrew Gruel. He's a chef, Chef Gruel on the internet. Mm-hmm. He started showing, and I mentioned this to Anna. Anna didn't know who he was either. But apparently someone, I think it was a political thing, and we don't do politics here. And I don't know if the person was on the right or the left going, hey, people can't afford meat and whatever, or can't afford to eat right. I think that was the whole thing, can't afford to eat right. And Andrew
I have a lot to say about grocery prices.
Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about. Andrew Gruel came up and said, hey, here's how you can eat right for under $15 a day. That's 3 meals. So you're talking less than $5 a meal, right? So with that in mind, Anna, you know a lot about this. I don't know much about grocery prices because, number one, I don't buy the groceries. I get sent to pick up eggs and meat. I know what that kind of costs. But I got to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. When I'm picking up ground beef, I'm picking up the 80-20, the good stuff. Yep. The most I ever see is $6 a pound. Sometimes I'm picking it up for under $5 a pound, $4.50, what have you. Harris Teeter has their special. The Kroger company will have their special. Even Wegmans, which is expensive, they got their specials. I bought 3 pounds of ground beef. When did she make that chili? She made the Anna Vocino chili. 3 pounds. I got it on sale. It was regularly $6.25 or something. It was already packaged. It was the pine something, like the really good stuff, right?
In the shrink wrap where you pull the
You
wrap
pull it,
back.
that's exactly what you do, Anna. It was under, all right, it was $6.20 something regular. It was right above.
If you can get that around
$5,
$5, you're doing pretty good. If you're getting a pound of ground beef for $5,
right above, let's say it was $5.20, $5.25. Maybe they took $1 off per package. I got 3 pounds of ground beef.
That's
2
great.
people, me and my wife, are going to eat that over 3 days.
I would have bought that in bulk and frozen most of it.
Well, I bought I'm going to tell you the funny part. I bought the 3 they had left on the thing because they were out, because they have 2 big racks of them, all gone. I bought the 3 that was left. Right. But that's the deal. Yeah. And Anna, that should be your first tip. You could buy meat and freeze it.
I just said it. Yeah.
You did.
Let me address a couple things, because not everybody had your lovely bucolic upbringing. Some of us grew up in cities and were not exposed to things like that and had to learn it as we went along. And that's totally fine. And I also want to just give the disclaimer of, you have to do the best you can with what's available to you and with the resources that you have. So anything that Vinnie and I give as far as tips, take what works for you and leave the rest, because not everybody is able to do it. Some people are. Some people are able to be like, I'm going to put all of my resources behind this and spend the very best, spend money on the very best money can buy, et cetera, et cetera. But you don't have to do it that way. Being cost conscious, I think, is a good thing. Right. There is a thing in Stoicism. I think it was Seneca or Marcus Aurelius who wrote try doing 1 week a year on beans and rice, because it's basically like, and I'm not saying eat beans and rice. That's not NSNG. That's not the point of why I'm saying that. It's a return to like, hey, let's not order a package off of Amazon every day. Hey, we don't maybe need to get this new thing. We could repurpose the old thing. Hey, we could go find you know what I mean? We could save these leftovers and cook them with eggs, and then we have breakfast in the morning instead of having to throwing out food and being wasteful. It's a nod to go back to a week of living modestly, to put you back in touch with using very little to get a lot, because then you wind up using the resources you have, and somehow magically things do work out better, and it just feels better when you're using the things that you already have instead of being like, well, let's throw this out and buy new ones, right?
So, can I make a few comments on what you just said? Mm-hmm. First of all, I think it was Marcus Aurelius.
Thank you.
I love following the Stoics.
Me too.
Also, by the way, folks, in case you're wondering, bucolic means the pleasant, peaceful, and rustic aspects of countryside, rural life, or pastoral scenes, often evoking images of nature and farming. Basically, it's a country boy. You're a country boy. I'm a country boy. And by the way,
I'm a city girl.
I don't know how true this is, but I believe that this guy would have done this. Kevin Bacon, the great actor, Kevin Bacon, one of my favorite actors. And I don't know if he still does this, but for a long time, the guy was a big star. I mean, he was in every movie there was, made big movies, the whole thing, lots of money and what have you. And he's married to an actress who does really well. Kevin Bacon, I saw on the internet the other day, he spent years living on $40,000 a year and just capped it at that, where he had to live for $40,000 a year, because
that is awesome.
He realized that money does not make you happy. Right. You have to be happy absent of having a lot of money. And there's been studies about money and happiness. They'll say one, and the number used to be any amount you make after $70,000. Now, that was years ago. Now, because the economy has changed, it's probably higher than that. But after your needs are taken care of and your insurance is paid and the whole thing, and everyone's fed in your house, any amount of money that you're making above that does not make you exponentially happier.
Right.
I don't know about Anna, but I personally know this. I struggled
Definitely.
most of my life. I don't struggle anymore. I have to watch my P's and Q's, right? But it's not a struggle for the money anymore. But I know that I was happier when I was poor. I know that for a fact. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had
I'm
a conversation.
1,000% happier now than when I was a starving artist. I feel like being a starving artist was very, very hard. It's very emotionally taxing. And when you have two artistic people married to each other and we have a very artistic daughter, a very creative daughter who's a painter. So I think I think for us being a starving artist, I think there's something when you're trying to grow either your business or your creative pursuit, which I believe are the same energy, building those things. There's a certain amount of getting out of your own way that you have to do. And money, to me, my experience is money coming in is a reflection of you having gotten out of your own way. So therefore, you must be, the law of averages states you will be happier. Now, am I going to be so much more happy to be a multimillionaire versus where I am now? No. But I am definitely happier now than younger days starving artist. And so I would say, is there something where things feel too complicated and too hard and the money represents that? You know what I'm saying? So that's why you're saying when I was poorer, I was happier because now more money, more problems, because the money now has represented more fuckery that you have to take care of with running a business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe it's more about like, if you really were to go back to that kid, you would be happy, but you would still have that ambition. You wanted to like really grow and make something of yourself, right?
Well,
and then maybe now there's shit that has to be dealt with. It's like, because you should be happy now because you've built an incredible career. You help people. You have 4 documentaries. You have the books. You have, you know what I mean? The workouts, the company. Like, it's so insane what you've built. I can't, like, when I hear that you were happier when you were poorer, I go, no, because we need this person now who's made these things. We need you now to be happy because what you've built is insane. It's awesome.
Okay. So I'll give you.
I'm calling you out, bro. I'm calling you out.
So, Anna, I want to talk about you first. So I was never a starving artist, right? So I figured out how to scratch and claw my way right to the middle comfortably. And I did that in New Orleans. And then when I moved to LA, I wasn't making any money for like the first year. That's how I ended up, someone goes, oh, look at your abs.
First year in LA is always like anybody moving to the city where they want to make their dreams come true. The first year is always hard.
It was like, oh my God, I don't know anyone here. And then Alexandra Paul, an actress, said, your abs. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, you realize you can make a lot of money on your abs, right? And I'm like, how does that work? And she goes, you could become a model. And in my eyes, a model was like a really skinny guy from Milan, right? That looked like he needed a meal. And she's like, no, this is commercial modeling. They'll hire you for beer commercials and every ad you can possibly think of.
It's so funny.
And she was right. And so I started making money like that until I got my training business started. But I was always happy during those times. Like I wasn't unhappy. And I had time on the weekend. So I was never starving like you, and you had a kid on the ground and a husband and the whole thing. I can't imagine what that's like. I was by myself. Once I ate, everyone in my family was fed. And I figured out how to get to 6 figures pretty quickly, even in LA, which is kind of, I know you go 6 figures, you were living high on the hog, dude. Not in LA. 6 figures means you got a roof over your head and you're not living with bars on the window. I'm not making a joke. Right. That's pretty much what that means.
We had bars on the window of our house when we were so excited to afford a house in North Hollywood and we bought it. We had to take the bars off. I was like, I'm going to make a statement. I'm taking the bars off this house.
Yeah. People think that's a joke, but in LA, if you can live in a place where you don't have bars on the window, and that's what I was able to do. So about a year ago, this company here in Charlottesville, they're a financial company, and they handle your money for you. So I've been handling my own money my whole life. So they called me in and they were going to explain to me how they were going to make my money grow and they were going to control my money and okay. I'll go take a meeting with them. And all they were telling me in that meeting was, and they were looking at my financials going, oh, you already own Vanguard and Spider Indexes and this and that and the whole thing. Oh,
Like,
you
I'm
already
good.
have this, that, and the other thing. You already have, your houses, you have more than one house and it's almost big. All the things that they're supposed to tell you to do, I was already doing.
Right.
But he was still trying to explain to me why I would have to pay them a fee to watch my money for me.
Ugh.
And
Only fiduciary people, guys. Only fiduciaries.
I said,
never anybody else.
I said to the guy, I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will hire your company to watch my money if you can answer a simple question to me, for me. And he goes, okay, I'll try. And he's there as him and his partner. He's the sensible one and she's the one there. And they're both sitting there writing down notes while Serena and I are talking and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, you're going to have a, what do they call that? A trust fund. It's like, oh, we already have the Victory Trust and we have this and that, the whole thing. And, all the things, right?
Right.
And I said, answer this question and you got my business. He goes, okay. I said, why is it that I was happier when I had way less money? And I said, let me give you one example. I used to go skiing 30 days per year. I haven't skied since 2017. How is that? Why is that? Can you explain that to me? He goes, well, why did you stop? I went, I'm asking you. All of a sudden, I don't have time to go skiing anymore. All of a sudden, it seems like it's too much of an expense, even though I have more money now. Why is that? Can you answer that for me? Why I was having more fun when I had 1/10 of the money I have now? Can you explain that to me? And he goes, I really can't. I went, okay, we'll be seeing you. Right? That's the thing about money. People can't ever explain to you why you were happier when you had less. And that was me.
But that's not that guy's fault.
It's not his fault. It's my fault because I thought when you did better, you would do more.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm
so
doing
now
less.
you got to look at why you're not doing the things you love to do. Because now instead of your money having to be the resource that has to be so frugally allocated, now it's your time that has to be so frugally allocated. And that is a very common transition to make. And by the way, you're always going to be good with money because you have that in the very fiber of your being. And we are going to get to healthy eating. But that's why I would say, oh, I would rather be happy now with what I have. I'd rather have a little bit of money than no money at all. Because I am happier now that I can pay my bills. And by the way, I also know that if at any point doing any of this is a risk to my health or my happiness, we're gonna have a lot of reckonings. You know what I'm saying? Eat Happy Kitchen is not going to win at the expense of my health or my happiness.
That's the important part, Anna. And it
is important because I had an event last summer where it was affecting my health and I had to go to the hospital and I don't even want to say what it was because it was so scary. And I was like, I am not going to kill myself to do this. So it's got to happen. That's when it was like I'm going to do this because I love to do it. And if it becomes something that I don't love doing, it's got to go away.
So and I had that moment too, right? Right when
you did.
Like after the pandemic, I was going to start, like going skiing again. Right. I told myself I'm going. And as a matter of fact, my good friend, him, Don Coddington.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington's Friday 5 o'clock.
Don kept going, you're full of shit, dude. And I'm like, why? He goes, every year you say you're going to go skiing and you never go skiing anymore. Why not? And it's like, because something always comes up. And the big thing that came up was, as you know, my company was being screwed around and I didn't even know it. I was being lied to. I won't explain how or why. And all of a sudden, and you want to talk about bloated, I was able to get rid of 7 people. And now we run lean, clean, and efficient, and the company is doing better than it's ever done. 7 people I got rid of. Hiring was going on that I wasn't even privy to. That I was like, it was kind of like, remember when Elon Musk, they did like that Doge thing? I don't know, I know it's a political thing. They were just going, what do you do for a living? I literally went around my company going, hi, I'm Vinnie. Oh, hi, Vinnie. I own the company. Oh, great. What do you do? What is your job? I literally went and did that. This was long before the Doge thing, by the way. And they couldn't really explain to me what they did other than sat and played games all day.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And I was like, well, nobody was minding the store. These people were supposed to be doing stuff on my behalf, and they weren't.
Right. Sure.
Right. So you got to do what you got to do. Right. And I had to fire these people. They weren't doing anything.
Right.
Right. That's why as this show comes out, I'm actually heading off to Vermont to go skiing.
You're doing it.
That's right. First time.
Get back in touch with Happy Vinnie. We want Happy Vinnie.
9 years, Anna. 9 years.
Know. You talked about it's obviously on your mind because you talked about it on last week's show as well.
I've been talking about it over and over and over because I don't do anything other than work. And that doesn't, just work doesn't make me happy. The only part of my work that makes me happy are the phone calls. Period.
Because you get to talk to people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I get to coach.
Right.
Right. And people call me when they have cancer and terminal cancer and everything else. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I do. That's my calling.
Right.
Right. That's where, I'm with other humans doing other human things. Right. We're going to get to food right now as soon as I tell you guys about Jasper.co.
I love my Jasper, Vinnie. I love it.
Vinnie. Jasper.co/JASPR. There's no E in there, Anna. I don't know if you've read Jasper and the thing.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to spell.
No, they can't spell, but boy, can they make a great product.
Yeah.
Jasper.co/Vinnie saves you $300 every time. Anna, do you have anything you'd like to say about your new Jasper?
I love my Jasper so much. I have been rotating it around rooms, so I have some questions. My first question is, I take it around to the different rooms because I want to see, is this room clean? Does this room need the Jasper? But then I was wondering if I just have it in like a center room, do I need multiple Jaspers? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how much room each Jasper covers in the house, but I do know that I have about, let's call it 1,000 square down here.
Okay.
And this Jasper
down in your man cave recording studio?
Yeah. It used to smell like sweat and desperation down here.
Wow. Now it smells nice.
Yeah. It smells good. It keeps it clean down here. It keeps it fresh.
That's awesome.
The only time I hear, I hear it whirling up. The one down here whirls up whenever I was building the train, and any kind of chemical I used while I was building the train set, that Jasper would pick up on it. It just speeds up a little bit. Anna, you'll notice if you ever fry something.
That's what I'm excited. I'm going to do pan steaks tonight for dinner and put it in the kitchen.
Oh, Anna, maybe
I'll film a little video and I'll put at the discount code Vinnie.
Anna, you don't even have to put it in the kitchen. You can have it in the next room from the kitchen.
Really? So that was my question. I was like, I've been moving it around to the rooms, thinking I needed to.
No. It's not like you got to move it around. It's like it could be in the next room. And if it senses, oh, wait, there's too much oil particulates in the air or smoke or whatever, it starts whirling up to a level that clears it out.
That's
and it'll
really
stay
cool.
high until it clears it out, and then it comes back down again.
Okay.
Jasper.co. Folks, go check this out. You're not going to believe. People go $1,200 for this thing. People have bought as many as 6. Anna's moving hers around the rooms. We have one in the bedroom. I have one down in my office. And I'm getting a third one for the house. I'm getting 3. My house is not that big.
It makes absolute sense. And by the way, it's attractive. That's the thing that I was most shocked about.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks nice. I was expecting like this big, bulky, ugly thing, and it's not
Right.
that at all. It's attractive. Like, it looks aesthetics. I like aesthetics.
Yeah.
I love interior
no.
design. I want things, I don't want to disrupt the things that I want to look pretty in my house. So it's really attractive. I was very surprised about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll
you
film a video when I'm cooking, and then I'll put it up. And I'll put the Vinnie discount code up. But
I appreciate it. Thanks.
of course. Okay. Saving money on food, because some things are expensive, right? More expensive. Like if you're going to upgrade the way that you eat, you're going to cut out some processed foods.
Right.
You're going to probably have to go to the grocery store more. You might have to go to multiple grocery stores. You know that old running gag about Costco? It's the only place where you go and spend $300 and you still have to stop at the grocery store on the way home, right? But you just get so many good things from Costco that it's part of it. By the way, one of my tips is spend $25 to $30 on a vacuum sealer and some bags, because when you go to Costco, you can really stock up on the meats. Even Costco meat prices have gone up, and they're still some of the best meat prices that are out there. But you can buy a giant pack of pork chops, a giant pack of steaks, a giant pack of ribs, and you can vacuum seal and save these things for freeze.
Is there a brand of sealer that you like? I could put it on the Vinnie.
You know what I'll do? I'll send you the link to the one I have, and then Debbie can create an affiliate link and put it up in the show notes for you.
Don't send it to me. Just send it to Debbie.
Okay.
And Anna's going to, so folks, you can go to VinnieTortorich.com and go to my Amazon page and see the one that Anna recommends.
And let me tell you why vacuum sealer and bag link to Debbie. Let me tell you why that's important. I used to use just Ziploc bags to store the meat, and it didn't take long, maybe like 2 to 3 weeks before all the meats would get freezer burned. The vacuum seal bags take all the air out so you don't develop the freezer burn on the meats, and the meats taste much fresher. And when stuff gets freezer burned, you can still cook it, but it just doesn't have the same texture and taste quality that it has when it's frozen in a clean way. Obviously, anything shrink wrapped, like a big pack of chicken thighs or chicken breasts or ground beef, you don't have to shrink wrap, vacuum seal those. Those are already vacuum sealed. You can freeze them. So obviously, we said buying in bulk, freezing stuff. Vinnie mentioned something that's really, really important, and most people think that they can't do it, but you can, and that's get a little pot, even if it's inside, and put herbs in it. You can buy $2 worth of herbs. You can even buy seeds if you want to do it from seeds, but plant herbs, plant rosemary, sage, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Plant them, plant everything, plant it all. You can either put it right outside. Now is actually a good time to start planting, at least in the South. You might have to wait a little bit to plant your herbs in the north.
We have
plant them inside
right here.
So plant them inside and then move them outside, but have the herbs, because herbs are a ripoff. I'm sorry, but spending $5 for a bunch of herbs when you could just snip some from your own herb garden, that's a place where you can save money. Also, when your herbs start to turn or go bad, keep them and dry them and put them in a mason jar. You can use dried herbs, that it still works. You can do, if you have a food dehydrator, you can use that. I think that having things for flavor on hand are very, very important. Obviously, I'm a huge proponent of spices. I sell spice blends. I've always been of the opinion, since I am a frugal gal, if I put a spice in one of my cookbooks, it's going to appear multiple times, because I don't like when you have to buy a $17 spice and you use like a half a teaspoon and then you never use it again. That's my ultimate pet peeve. So I always make sure that stuff recurs. And then now that I have done my spice blends, I'll be honest with you, Vinnie, like there's very few spices that I buy on repeat. Cinnamon is one of them. Vanilla extract is one of them that I buy as single use, because I try to find ways now to work in my own spice blends, and I save money that way. Because they're meant to be all purpose with certain flavor profiles, right? So the meat question is always the biggest question. We already talked about, going to Costco, going to the butcher department. Here's something that people don't know about grocery stores. When you go into your Harris Teeter and you see those packs of ground beef with the shrink wrap around them, they're in either the foam tray or the plastic tray or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Unless they're branded with a really solid seal around the edge, they're being butchered and made at your grocery store.
Oh, yeah. I thought everybody knew that. That's
No,
the
people
accent.
don't know. They think that it's like coming from some magic meat store. And I'm like, it's not. Your grocer's doing that. If you stepped in the back, you'd probably, first of all, gag a little bit because it smells crazy back there. They need a Jasper at the butcher department. But they have stuff on special. They can make stuff for you. They can get, ask them what they have that's about to go bad. They'll sell it to you for cheap. They will.
Yeah.
And start to talk to these guys and gals that work back there, and they will get to know your faces, and they'll get to know what you're asking
Once they know your
for.
name, they will send you, like a lot of times the woman at Teeter, I'll show up and I'll go, I will have, and she'll go, she'll do the, give me the quick head nod. She'll nod me off. And I go, then I'll have and she'll go, nod me off again, kind of like, baseball, like the catcher talking to the pitcher. And I'll go, what do I really want? And then she'll take a little finger and kind of point over and say, okay, I'll have the New York strip. Because she knows what's the best, what's on sale,
Right.
And that's, once they get to know you, they start doing that for you.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you say hi to them, you say their name, because their name is right there on a tag. Her name is D.
Again,
D-E. Say,
it's
hey,
it's a people business. The grocery
Yeah.
store is groceries are a people business. So yeah, and they will take care of you, which is great. And so there's always that I think is really important. We always say, I always feel like I'm repeating myself too much. The higher the fat content in meat, generally the least expensive it is, with the exception of steaks. Ribeye steaks are very expensive, but I'm talking about chicken thighs, pound for pound, are less money than chicken breasts. I buy all kinds of the whole chicken and cut it up, or I'll buy, I'll roast the chicken, I'll cut it up. I buy all the chicken, all the pork, and beef. I don't cook a lot of fish at home unless I'm recipe writing. I order a lot of fish if I go to a restaurant. I like having fish at the restaurant.
Right.
But I love eating fish, but Lauren hates the smell of it. He gets upset by I do a lot of shellfish though, because to me, for whatever reason, scallops and shrimp don't get as stinky as fish do. But so look to see what's on sale. Buy the fattier cuts. Here's a thing. Let's say you make bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs.
Mm-hmm.
I want you guys to save those bones and make a broth out of them. When you cut off the ends of an onion or the ends of your celery or the ends of a shallot or leek or even green onions, you can throw these all into a bag and throw them in the freezer. And then on Sunday, make a broth out of it. We always chop off the end of the onion and throw it away. You don't need to do that. Save it. You can save the end of your Parmesan, that hard butt of the Parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
Save that and throw it in your soup.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
The hard butt of my Parmigiana it looks like a plasticky kind of brown, is real dark brown.
It's the cheese
You can
part.
see writing
If
in
it has plastic on it,
Not
do
plastic,
not put that in.
whatever
But I know what you're
it's
saying.
like
It's
an
harder.
outer
You can 100% use that in a broth. 100%.
thing. You could throw the whole thing in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you've gotten all the soft grated off of there, right?
Yeah. Well, you get all right. So, as everybody knows, the nose of the cheese is the best. That's why you're not supposed to cut
Right.
the nose off. And then it gets, people don't realize it, but it gets harder and harder. And then it gets to where you can only kind of use it for grated cheese. Is that hard at the end?
Yeah.
And then there's the part I slice off and I give it to Bonzo in order not to waste
You
it.
could do
I'll put it
you
in
could
the
do that
dog
too.
food. But then
Yeah.
there's that hard part on the bag
Oh, yeah.
that feels like shoe leather. I throw that away. You're telling me I could just throw that
Throw it in your broth. 100%.
Who knew? except you. Hey,
Um,
you learn something new every day, folks.
so shopping the store, we live in a country that has chosen to subsidize processed sugars and grains and not produce and meat. So Vinny and I are sitting here telling you guys to eat produce and meat, the not subsidized food, right? And it feels like you're going to have sticker shock because if you're used to couponing, you're not going to be able to coupon as much. Jackie Jones got me on this app called Fetch, where you scan in your receipt and you get points, and then you can redeem your points for like an Apple gift card or something. And it's so funny. Well, first of all, I know it's just their way of buying data. And I have nothing to hide. I'm like, you can see all my grocery store receipts, but I always get the minimum amount of points possible because I don't buy any processed foods. They reward you. Like if you get like 10 packs of crackers or Doritos or, they'll reward you for the processed foods, which I never buy. So I only ever get 25 cents. And Lauren is like, you're going to be dead before you save up enough points on that app to get $100 Apple gift card or whatever. So are you frozen? Or are you writing some down?
No,
okay, you're not frozen. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was frozen. So yes, so making the switch from buying processed foods to buying fresh produce, fresh meat. The center store, now you're going to really only focus on the flavor. Things like my pasta sauce, obviously in the center aisle. Spices are in the center aisle. Olive oil is in the center aisle, which just get Villa Capelli. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. The things in the center part, maybe you'll get like some Perrier. Like you're not going to get a whole lot of stuff in the center aisle anymore because you're going to make a lot of fresh food.
Right.
Maybe some nuts. They sell the raw nuts in bulk, or maybe you're gonna roast some nuts.
All the way in the center aisle. That's like
it's not. It's kind of like on the edges.
It's on the edges. Yeah. It's close to produce and what have you. The good nuts. Now, if you're going to go get the ones like the planters in the can with all the crap in
that'll be center aisle.
That's more center aisle. I don't even see those where I go, but I get the good, really healthy nuts.
Yeah, because those are generally in the salty snack aisle. You know what's funny? It's because we've been submitting the cheese bites to grocery stores. And it's because it's sort of a new category. I know there's other competitors, but it's sort of a new category. People don't know where to put it. So sometimes it's like salty snack aisle. Sometimes it's in the salad toppers, in the produce section, next to the croutons. Like they don't know where to put it. We've been having multiple conversations with the national buyers of Albertsons and Kroger. Like, where do we put these things? Where do you guys think they go? And part of it's that, like the work that Vinny and I are doing, we're literally retraining people how to shop at the grocery store. We're teaching people how to read food labels, where to find stuff. Now, I want to urge you guys, here's a huge money-saving tip. Do not use Instacart. Vinny, do you know what Instacart is? Where you have the people shop for you?
I do, because you explained it to me last week on the show. And yeah. And I asked Serena about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me tell you what's not Instacart, because once or twice we did a thing where we both had the Rona a while back. Mm-hmm. So Serena,
so you needed to get the groceries, like to pick them up.
She didn't want to go infect anyone else, my wife, and she didn't want me to go infect anyone else.
That's very nice.
So she called over to Whole Foods and, well, she didn't call. I think you do it on the phone.
Yeah, or online. You do it online.
You do it. Yeah, I don't know how
you can online order directly with the grocery stores.
And then you go there.
Or a lot of people do the Instacart app. Yeah.
Okay, well, you go there and you pull up to a certain spot and you call them and you go, hey, I'm here. And they bring out all the wrong groceries, pretty much.
Yes.
That's not Instacart, though, right? That's their own thing.
No, Instacart is a third-party app where they also bring you all the wrong groceries. So, but you just pay more. Why would you want to do that?
I just remember getting home with the groceries and Serena goes, this whole bag right here is not even ours. Like there was one whole bag.
Yeah, that tracks.
But, and then I had to go back. And of course, you're sick. You feel sick. You got the Rona. And I'm like, now I got to go back. And I told Serena, I said, we're trying to be virtuous here. with this, this whole thing.
Not infect
I'm
anybody.
going
Yeah.
in the effing store and and getting the stuff. I can't deal with this. I don't want to do a third trip, right?
Yep.
So that's what happened.
So
yes.
So this is where it gets confusing. I know that online grocery ordering is very convenient for a lot of folks. And by the way, as a brand who's on the grocery store shelves, we work with Instacart and we pay to advertise on Instacart because for the people who do use Instacart, there's nothing better than like they search for another competing brand and ours comes up in the search and they might go, what's that? And put add to cart. So I am telling you guys this, don't use Instacart knowing that I'm using Instacart to try to get people to buy my brand. And I'm saying, don't use it because of how expensive it is. And it's not just the fee that you pay and the tip to pay, which tip people. Absolutely. I'm not saying don't tip people. You should tip people. What Instacart was recently revealed to have been fixing. That's not the right word because they weren't fixed. The prices weren't
you
fixed.
told me they were charging up to 30% more.
They were charging up to 30% price variances on items ordered from the same store on the same day.
Okay,
and
so Anna, let me ask a question. Let me pretend I was going to shop with the Instacart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's say, remember those 3 pounds of ground beef I bought from Whole Foods?
Mm-hmm.
Can I buy that on Instacart? Is that like...
Yeah. Anything that's at the store so the retailers work with Instacart. So ideally all of their inventory flows to Instacart. So you open the app, you put in your credit card and your delivery address and you choose Whole Foods as your store, right? All of their inventory should flow through, but it doesn't. That's the problem where it gets frustrating.
Right,
so you're like, go ahead.
All right. So I want the 3 pounds of meat.
Right.
The Pine Farm, whatever, 3 pounds. I see it on the Instacart.
So you should be able to add 3 pounds of that to cart.
Okay.
You might get it, or you might get your buyer in the store writing you a note, which is also you have to keep the app open, so you're fielding all these questions.
Let's
saying
assume
they're out. What do you want instead?
Okay, let's
assume.
And
if you went in there, you would find it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
It's for that's why I'm saying it gets very frustrating.
Okay, but let's assume that I just want to do a clean Instacart, right? So let's say that
I don't know if there is such a thing, but okay.
Let's assume that they have the 3 pounds and they're going to send it straight to my house.
Right.
Okay. Now, as I told you, it was on sale so let's say I get the 3 pounds if I went in the shop for $16 and then plus tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say it was all $16 just for the hell of it.
Right. Plus you'll have, it won't be $16 because Instacart will charge more than the store will charge. There will be, oftentimes I see our products that if our jar is $9.99 in the store, it's oftentimes $10.99 or $11.99 on Instacart.
Okay, but Instacart, they're picking it, packing it, and getting it to you. So they need. So
there's also a fee to do that, and there's also the tip that you give to the person to do that. At
the end of the day, what would that $16 bill come to?
I don't know. I don't know.
Give or take.
I have no idea. I haven't used Instacart as a shopper in years because I got so frustrated with getting the wrong groceries and having to constantly be on the app. It wasn't a time saver for me. Again, this is an episode about if you need to save money, you will stay off that app because you will not save money.
Okay.
If you're saving time and you don't care if you get the wrong groceries or substitutions, then it might work for you. I'm addressing the people who want to save money. You're not going to save money on Instacart. Plus, now it's been revealed that they were price gouging to the tune of 30% from the same item. Like the same eggs were costing this guy $4.69 and that guy $3.89. What?
Based on what? How did they decide? Neighborhood? Hey, that guy lives in a richer neighborhood. We could probably hit him.
We don't exactly know, but they got Consumer Reports involved and it was a big expose. Instacart has now claimed that they do not do that anymore. They do not use dynamic pricing anymore. At first, though, they threw their retailers under the bus, and then Target said, we don't even work with Instacart with pricing, so how could we be setting that dynamic pricing when we don't even work with them on pricing? And that was the big smoking gun.
Wow.
You guys, The grocery stores, do not get it twisted. And I say this as somebody who I'm trying to build a brand and get into grocery stores. The
Right.
grocery stores have done all kinds of things to collude on raising prices. This is exactly why the courts have blocked Kroger and Albertsons from being able to merge, because the last thing we need is another thing. Walmart is notorious for squeezing every penny out of their suppliers. We've talked about this ad nauseum. So you do have to be a little bit educated and smart and look for the deals, understand where your food comes from, all that stuff. So that being said, we know this going in, you just got to get ahead of it. That's just, we're in late stage capitalism, folks. This is what we're dealing with, but we want you to be healthy. We're trying to get you to be able to eat healthy on a budget. So that is my big tirade about the grocery stores. DoorDash I would avoid. DoorDash is more like a food delivery, which is basically why I try to make easy weeknight meals that taste restaurant quality. So you are like, I'm tired. I just worked a 12-hour shift. My kids are really hungry. What am I going to do to get food on the table fast that is not DoorDash?
So wait, DoorDash is, you said
DoorDash
food
is more
deli-
like
I thought
restaurant delivery. Yep.
restaurant delivery. Okay. What about Uber Eats? What do they bring to your house?
I think Uber Eats is also like a DoorDash. Uber Eats. I can't remember the one in New York. They have their own Seamless. There's all sorts of plans and programs out there to do food delivery. And again, none of it's bad per se. We love the ability to have convenience. I never want to not innovate on convenience, but you're not going to save money. You're not going to save money if you use these things.
I'm going to push back. How is it my mom worked a full-time job and put food on the table every night, and there was no DoorDash, no Instacart, no Uber, nothing, right? She came home, started from scratch, and cooked a meal every single night after working all day. My dad worked all day. Why? And by the way, apparently we have more time-saving things now than we've ever had. You have partially cooked foods, you have packaged stuff, you have, like fresh in the package. And I'm not talking about, all the crap. You have a microwave that didn't exist when I was a kid. There was no microwave when I was a kid. Maybe one rich guy in New York City had a microwave. We heard about it.
We had a microwave.
We didn't have one when I was a kid, right? We didn't have a dishwasher. None of it. How is it my mom came home, put a meal on the table every night, right? And cleaned dishes and did the whole thing. I think it's part, I used to talk about the pussification of a nation, right? It's like we've become so, and people go, oh, Vinny, get off your high horse. Okay, maybe I should get off my high horse, but hear me out at least. How is it that we used to do this and now we have more time-saving things than ever? Right, we have cooktops cook faster. We're boiling water faster. How do I know? I have an induction stove upstairs. It boils water in no time. We have microwaves. We have something called convection ovens. We got air fryers. We got slow cookers. We got fast cookers. We got medium cookers. I got a blender that whizzes up so fast that you can make soup in it. You can make hot soup. It's a Vitamix. How is it we have all of this stuff, yet for whatever reason, we need DoorDash and Uber Eats and so on and so forth? What happened? And why do we think we need, Anna, do you think we need all this?
I don't need it.
You had a kid at one point. Did you need it back when you had a kid? Probably could. I can't imagine you could have afforded it. So you were able.
I couldn't afford things like DoorDash. I don't know. Food delivery's been around. It's not like, people would deliver Domino's and delivered pizza. What is the other thing? Chinese food food delivery has been around for forever.
Right,
it doesn't surprise me that Silicon Valley is going to figure out how to monetize it and make it, and it's very profitable. It's very profitable.
I know it's profitable,
but I know that if you want to eat healthy and stick to your goals, if you start ordering takeout all the time, it's going back to those I'm just too tired to make something. Unfortunately, it's probably going to bite you in the ass health-wise.
And by the way,
it's going to impede your goals.
I barely eat in restaurants anymore because of seed oils.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel better
Same.
because of it. I can't tell you the last time I was actually in a restaurant. Now I'm getting ready to travel, right? Whenever I travel, and last 2 times I traveled, once was Louisiana, and there's no restaurants there. And the next time was England, no restaurants. But I'm going to a ski slope tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's going to be restaurants involved. And I got to figure out
Burger patties.
how to get to.
It's going to be your tour of burger patties.
Pretty much.
That's what Lauren calls it. He's like, are you going on your tour of burger patties? I'm like, yeah, I am.
Pretty much. I'm going to be on burger patties for the next, or steak, or it's going to cost me more to eat on the road because I'm just not going to stop at I'm trying to think of a fast food restaurant. I'm not going to stop at a Chick-fil-A or something.
It's going to cost you more, but I'm sorry, I don't know how much do medications cost? I don't know.
Apparently a lot. I'm not on any, but I'm told they cost a shit ton.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a path to getting healthy and not spending the money on that, and you're allocating your money to preventive eating, preventive or preventative, I never know. I read a lot of medical scripts and they write it different ways. I think it means the same thing.
Preventive or preventative? Preventative seems like the right way to say it.
It does. That's what I always thought. But then they're always like preventive. I'm like, is that a word? Anyway, somebody will correct us on the internet. They always do.
Thank you, internet. Thank you, internet.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You do what we never asked you to do.
So yeah, there's that thing of like, I don't know. How do you quantify it? It's to me, it's about values and priorities. Well, I value my health, so I'm going to do this. And at the moment you want to put some life into living, I'm valuing celebrating and putting life into living. Like, it's like you get to make a conscious choice as you go along. And I don't think anybody's listened to 58 minutes of this podcast who doesn't value their health a little bit. I just want to say one last thing. We got to wrap it up and talk about Villa Capelli. I said, grow the herbs. I said the vacuum bags and the saver. No Instacart, no DoorDash. Save your bones, save your scraps. Oh, I do want to say the enshittification of processed foods. Processed foods were already bad, and then they've become more enshittified as case in point with the heir to the Reese's family. I think his name was Brian Reese. I can't remember. Something Reese. He basically said he had to throw away his Reese's candy over Valentine's Day because he noticed instead of it using milk chocolate, it says chocolate candy, and it had like just fake ingredients. And instead of real peanut butter, it now says peanut butter cream. So like the things that you have these attachments to in your heart, because like I remember as a kid, I got to have that Reese's cup or that Dorito. Right. It's not the same food, you guys. You're not missing anything. We can make better memories, okay, for our families moving forward. Let's make better food memories than that stuff. It has been enshittified.
To that point, I even tell my brother Mark, is like, look, when you buy ice cream, you make the world's worst choices. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you buy Bluebell. He goes, ice cream's ice cream. It's like, no, it's not.
No.
Bluebell's got like 20 different chemicals in it, and he goes, well, what would you buy? I said, whenever I do indulge in ice cream, it's either fresh cream somewhere that's made, like from an artisan, or if we get it from the grocery store, it's like Haagen-Dazs, where there are 3 ingredients. There's cream, there's eggs, and there's sugar. That's it. Right. And it's not Haagen-Dazs or it's not Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey or, ass full of explosion chocolate or whatever.
Maltitol, fake sugar.
Right. It's just these 3 ingredients. I enjoy a scoop of it, and then, 6 months later, I'll try again. Number 1 is the consistency of doing it. Number 2, and he goes, but it's so much cheaper to buy this. It's like, that's the problem. Right. Number 1, it would be really cheap if you do what I did and ate it once or twice a year. That would make it cheap. You could buy the most expensive one ever.
Right.
It doesn't matter. But if you're going to eat it every day and you're going to eat the stuff with the crap in it that's going to keep you more addicted, it's going to keep you inflamed, it's going to keep your liver fucked up and your heart and everything else, you got stents and everything else, I don't know how you're still alive, then that's what you get. You get what you get. Except for when you buy Villa Capelli. Now, folks, if you listen to last Friday's show, I had the great Dee Bro, one of the winningest coaches in the history of coaching. Like myself, Dee Bro was on her way to physical therapy school or to become a trainer, meaning, someone who fixed joints and everything, that kind of trainer. And she's just into health and fitness. And the woman is one of the most storied coaches of the SEC and in the NCAA history. When I started doing a Villa Capelli ad, she started writing it down. And as a matter of fact,
I love it.
When the mics went cold, she was like, she goes, wait, I have a question, man. I said, yeah. She goes, is it Villa, V-I-L-L-A? I went, yeah, Villa Capelli. She goes, 2 different words. I said, yeah, like House of Capelli. And she goes, is that 2 P's? I said, it's 2 P's and 2 L's. She goes, wait. 2 P's and 1 L? It's like, Dee, just listen. Capelli. And she goes, oh, here it is. She pulled it up and she ordered herself a 3-liter 10 right there while I was still talking to her in the background after the mics went cold. The best coach in the country is now using Villa Capelli. Guaranteed. Go get yourself some Villa Capelli, just like Dee Bro, just like Anna Vocino. Anna Vocino will not cook. If they stop making Villa Capelli, Anna Vocino says she's hanging up her apron.
I'll quit.
Guilty spatulas ain't got no pleasure. That's right. She wants Villa Capelli, and that's what she's going to get. You can get it.
But I use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, and I get 10% off my order each and every time.
Yeah, it's not a one-time deal. It's not like a loss leader. Every single time you go to Villa Capelli, 10% off. Promo code Vinnie, VINNIE. Go do it right now. You're going to thank me. You're going to love me now. You're going to thank me later. It's just the way it is. Promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, no wimpy Y. While we're talking about these things, I'm going to tell you guys, go check out Anna Vocino at Eat Happy Kitchen. She was eating some of her cheesy puffs at the beginning. Anna, you still got those cheesy puffs there?
Oh, yeah. I got the Monterey Jack and Ranch.
I'm going to go have that same flavor as soon as the show's over with. Because I feel like I need a little snacky food. I was working out before the podcast, and I feel like I need a little protein hit, a little protein snack. Look at that.
You can see the little flecks of the dill in there.
We call that flavor nuggets right there. That's what that is. Flavor nuggets. You need to get me to write for your products, Anna. Anna Vocino, Eat Happy. Go get it right now. Or you can go to annavocino.substack.com. Go check out everything she's doing. With me, everyone keeps writing to me, oh, Vinnie, I love the workouts. Go get your workout. VinnieTortorich.com/workout. Go right now. VinnieTortorich.com/workout. Go there right now, and you can get the 2-day routine, the 4-day routine, or the 6-day routine. And I have a little app that I made. It's like its own little app where you carry me to the gym. You take your phone, I'm in your pocket. You can watch me doing the exercises, and you can emulate that if you want.
I didn't know there was an app. That's awesome.
It's not an app. It's a thing you do, and you take me with you to the gym. By the way, the little app thing is after you do the exercise, you can fill in, I did 3 sets of 10. Or next time I need to add the weight. I got the whole little thing, Anna. It's like having a Hollywood trainer, that's what I was, in your pocket. It's in your pocket. Yep. Some people put it in their back pocket so I can kiss their ass the whole time.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was a song that Anna reminded me of during the show, so we'll play that on the way out. On behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with